6:45 in the morning time on this Saturday morning, August 22nd, 2020. It's time now for the Peter Channel Saturday morning news on this Saturday morning, August 22nd, 2020. Good morning, y'all. This lovely Saturday morning, August 22nd, 2020. 62 degrees in North Massachusetts at 6:46. Top stories on the Peter Channel Morning News at 6:46 on this Saturday morning is Joe Biden campaign hauls in $70 million during Democratic convention. Comatose Russian descendant Alexei Navalny arrives at Berlin hospital. California wildfire spread as governor appeals for other states out. Warren calls for Postal Service board members of the fire to join or resign. Two scenarios for troublesome Laura as it moves toward the Gulf of Mexico. U.S. elections, Biden promised to reverse many of Trump's changes. Golden State killer sentenced alive without parole. Apologized to the victims. Brennan interviewed a witness in Russia. Review probe spokesman says California's iconic giant redwood trees burning massive out of control wildfire, 50,000 acres, knocking 0% contaminant. Georgia cop fired after tasing unarmed women in viral TikTok video. Mali group dozens to take to Bamako streets to celebrate. Iran sanctions nearly all UN Security Council unites against unpleasant in the U.S. Israel warns of Gaza escalation over balloon and rocket attacks. Possible U.S. F-35 sail to UAE tests Israel deal Iran tensions concerns over Yemen. TikTok to challenge U.S. order banning transactions with video, the sources said. As the market is booming for everyone, for ex-FDA commissioner analyzes Johnson & Johnson mega vaccine trial. Uber and Lyft shutting down in California. That's a working the hunt down pesky ISS air leak. Hubble snaps close-up of comet Neowise. Asteroid predicted to pass close to Earth the day before the presidential election. Rhode Island successful reopening of child care program shows there's a path CDC director says. 20 Illinois counties at COVID-19 warning level. Patient linked to coronavirus outbreak at Millinocket winning has died. Peter, Joe News Time, 6:48. Attleboro area athletic director still trying to figure out what high school sports will look like. With hybrid remote learning plans, local parents of school-aged children left scrambling over with few options for child care. Rehoboth students, the Titan Rehoboth Regional School District will join Battlefield and King Philip students to kick it off the school year by learning to know with a plan to switch to partial in-school instruction in the fall. The fall football season may have been effectively canceled at the so-called low-risk sports okayed by school officials as for the patients while they try to figure out what athletics will look like at the time of coronavirus. And they may look very different. And the athletic directors of the 12 Hogwarts League school districts, which include Attleboro, Mansfield, Foxborough, and King Philip Regionals, issued a statement on Thursday said there's still a lot of work to be accomplished before fall 2020 split is permitted. They say that they hope to have more information to cover a week or two. On Wednesday, the Massachusetts Classic Athletic Association's board of directors announced it would approve the recommendations from the COVID-19 task force of the State Department of Elementary and Secondary Education to allow what are deemed to be lower and better risk sports this fall season. Golf, cross country, field hockey, soccer, gymnastics, and volleyball have been okayed to begin practice September 18th. The real nailed out hope, however, that the football and other higher risk sports could be played later in the school year, the fourth floating season. These sports may not be good play until late February for winter season rather than April. In the statement, the AD said to do will they wait to get student athletes back in the field. Their health and safety is paramount. The low risk sports, cross country and golf, are the moderate risk sports. Field hockey, soccer, girls volleyball must undergo modifications. Some significantly changing the look of the game to adhere to the guidelines. The AD said this. MIA sports committees are working on that goal now. Girls volleyball is an indoor sport that has some very significant hurdles for high school programs to overcome. Individual school districts are trying to come up with ways to make the new rules work. Each district school committee is changed to approve the specific sports program that will be offered at each of the schools. The statement said, one of the details are given about it. Our league ADs and principal schedules can be drawn up and approved for the publication. Not all school districts are quite as hesitant. Bishop Fenn High School in Edinburgh is not part of a Hogmark League, and the school, which had been an Eastern Athletic Conference, joined the Central Catholic League in February. And Chris Schatz, athletic director at the co-ed Catholic High School, said the MIA decision is probably a well thought out and good plan. All concerned, he said, they are doing their best to get these kids playing. At Fenn, we said they are working with our new CCL partners, and nothing is completely off the table. Schatz said Shamrock football players and cheerleaders are very excited about the prospect of getting back to the trade, but a no floated season. There will have competition possibly in the spring. And well, Fiat students are scheduled to return to class at the end of the month. Early then, public school sports teams, including those will be able to play the new fall season. We'll be able to start practice on the September 18th deadline. The first games come until 2 weeks after that. We will be moving forward to try the competition as safe as possible. We are excited to get kids back out there. Peter Channel News Time, 6:52 on this. Saturday morning, and it's time now for a sports report. Boston Red Sox defeat the Baltimore Orioles 8-5. And last night, Boston Celtics defeat the Philadelphia 76ers 102-84 at Orlando. Game number 3 of the East Conference first round as they take a 3 games and then lead to this best of 7 series. Tonight, Sox and the Orioles go at it at 7:35 p.m. in Baltimore. And in the Norman Trust Open at the Dell Technology at the TPC at Boston in North Massachusetts for 2 rounds, it is Dustin Johnson in the lead, 2 strokes ahead of Scotty Scheffler and Cameron Davis. Going into the 3rd round, which is going to start in a few minutes now, up at the TPC at Boston and Norton. Warriors pass it on the ball at number 2. Pick will be Wise. Subway Series postponed could bring big Mets rotation boost at Jack Del Rio, who is watching his blood bait if Rivera can't coach while in cancer treatment. Peter Childers is 6:53. Time now for Peter Channel traffic and transit check. On the MBTA subway system looking good. Commuter rail looking good. And the ferries, they are looking good. Okay. Let's take a look at the highways and byways in New England on this Saturday morning. One 46 on the northbound side, little bit on the Woonsocket stretch, and 84 westbound side, Little Store, West Hartford, Connecticut. But Connecticut, Rhode Island highways are looking good. 29 eastbound side, Little Store to 190 in the Worcester area. Central Western Mass highways are looking good, and Eastern Mass highways are looking good. And up in Northern New England, Vermont, North Maine highways are looking good, except 95 southbound, Little Bit, to the Old Town, Maine. Shoulders Ave is 6:54. Time now for our weather report. Some light moderate rain showers southeast of Glens Falls, New York, and south of Rutland, Vermont. And take a look at the Hurricane Center. This District 1 is at 2 a.m. on Saturday. This radar shows that thunderstorms located between the west coast of Africa and the Cabo Verde Islands are associated with a broad area of a low pressure and tropical wave, and this disturbance is expected to move westward across the Cabo Verde Islands on Saturday and will likely be producing gusty winds and local heavy rainfall there. Some slow development of this wave could occur during the next couple of days while it moves across the eastern tropical Atlantic before environmental conditions become less favorable to develop. But then formation just 4 hours. Low waves at formation just 5 days. Low waves at Troublesome Law, 5 a.m. Max say winds 40 miles an hour. Midwest center pressure 1,007 millibars and located at 17.6 to the north, 65.5 to the west and movement west at 21 miles an hour. The latest on Laura, tropical conditions are expected across portions of the Northern Leeward Islands, the Virgin Islands, and Puerto Rico through today. Tropical conditions are expected along the northern coast of the Dominican Republic and Haiti, and the Turks and Caicos Islands and southeastern Bahamas Saturday into Sunday. Heavy rainfall is likely across these areas beginning and could cause mudslides and flash flooding and urban flooding through Sunday. Tropical conditions are possible over a portion of the Central Bahamas Sunday night, as well as portions of eastern and southern Cuba Sunday and Sunday night. The details of long-range track and intensity forecast were made more uncertain than the usual since Laura's forecast to move near or over portions of the Gradient Hills by Monday. However, Laura could bring storm surge rainfall with effects to portions of Cuba, the Bahamas, and Florida early next week in the northern U.S. Gulf Coast by the middle of next week. In interest, there should be monitor the progress of Laura and updates to the forecast during the next few days. And tropical Marco is at 4 a.m. Central Time. It's 45 miles per wind, minimum temperature 1,005 millibars, are located at 19.6 to the north, 85.4 to the west, and moving north-northwest at 12 miles an hour. Marco is forecast for streaming over the northwestern Caribbean Sea through Saturday. It approaches the northeast coast of the Yucatan Peninsula of Hurricane watching a tropical storm warning are in effect for parts of the region, and the system is expected to move into a south-central Gulf of Mexico as a tropical storm on Sunday. Although some streaming is anticipated on Sunday, weakening is forecast as the system approaches the northwestern Gulf Coast on Tuesday. It is still too soon to know exactly what the location and magnitude effects of the system will produce along the central to northwestern Gulf Coast, and interest in that area should continue to monitor the progress and assess over the next few days. Okay, looking at the forecast discussion. Warm and increasingly humid conditions are expected to be this weekend and the early next weekend. While scattered showers and thunderstorms are expected this weekend. On maybe semi locally strong day tomorrow. There will be hit or miss and mainly during driven showers or storms are expected through Thursday. Through Tuesday, and some through the majority of the time will be dry, somewhat cool and less humid weather arrives by Wednesday, but this may end with short-lived. Isolated widely scattered strong thunderstorms in mid-afternoon, mid-early evening, Massachusetts, central eastern Massachusetts, and eastern Connecticut, Rhode Island. A fairly mild early morning, but also somewhat more humid than the past couple of days, as dew points have risen in low to mid-60s, and weak sea level pressure pattern is evident early this morning, with resulted light calm wind coming, and despite the rather nondescript pressure pattern, there are two salient large-scale features that will govern southern New England's weather today. The northern end of the confluent flow off the mid-high moisture in the west southwest mid upper flow is considered to a generous amount of mid-half of clouds this morning for that time. Microphysics imagery, the main feature of this afternoon is a prominent northern stream, shortwave through which is a right-in with just south of the Hudson Bay to the far west of Quebec, and weak large-scale ascent time to this feature combined to with strong union to allow a scattered storms to develop this afternoon while we line up. Looking at an epic of severe storms today, a few storms may nonetheless become strong this afternoon and afternoon early. Morning, she followed burns over the interior, expecting probably most success gas being filtered by the streaming high clouds. Despite the filtered sun, high temperature should be similar to yesterday. Upper 80s, low 90s in the interior. Spots of the coast will be kept a few degrees cold due to the sea breeze available. Focus for today turns to the afternoon hours of the potential for at least widely scattered thunderstorms at the aforementioned Quebec shoreway. Mostly brushes our area path through the north, but increasing duly. Mid-upper level winds tied to the shoreway considers the effective shear values at the margins of what would be somewhat organized updrafts at the 30-35 knots neighborhood. There is pretty good agreement across the guidance of the park. Most unstable keep values being in the 15 and 2,000 JKG range in Nexus along south of the Route 44 corridor in the Massachusetts Island and in the Connecticut. It values then to increase with normally set to around 7 to 13 in JKG, where throughputs are a bit lower than shear instability parameters. Space opens the door for some storms to keep strong, and what the two storms may reach marginally severe limits, and that's what's not as clear as that looking at the convective permitted guidance that covers the storms and when they may start to fire. But most of the models for the 0Z suite that showed that it increased in some of the storm coverage just as much, not much better than scattered. NSSL, WF, and NAM 3K and Lawner Z would be tend to perform fairly well so far this summer, being a bit more dubious than compared to the HRRR better storm coverage days, mainly from a BDL fit LWM left up to the EWB Plymouth line with more isolated coverage elsewhere. Some guidance pop showers and storms as soon as Zoom, but thinking at best time in between 2 7 p.m. today. With Buffett Sandon, supported service-based free convention was all Nielsen. The storms will be on the move surface, whether the two primary areas, one from activity coming out of the direction from on, and then again in chase of the 20 sea breeze boundaries. I do have some concerns that storms directly agreed upon and civilian massive vexing that down and surface Massachusetts that storms could be a bit stronger as they move into these areas. And 7 watches. Strong union forbidden 8,000, 1,000 JKG with that draft cape could produce locally gusty winds of the prairie small thunderstorm hazard. However, sporadic instances of small and possible given parks 7 to 50 better millbar laps rates of around 6 to 6.5 kilometers by early morning guidance that today is a sort of a several severe 1 to 2 margin severe storm sort of outcomes that we see commonly in summer here. Farther up to the and that's worded for gusty winds to bring some redness to the potential. Okay, let's take a look at our forecast. It goes like this. Scattered showers and thunderstorms after 1 p.m. Some storms produce gusty winds. The Putney Saska high at 90 degrees. Call weekend to the northwest wind 6 miles. And afternoon chest pitch is 50% and do rain miles less than in 73 small. Extra high miles possible thunderstorms. And tonight, scattered showers and thunderstorms are made before 10 p.m. Some storms produce gusty winds and punch mark up to 2 a.m. Otherwise, mostly clouds have about 63 degrees and light November wind. Chest pitch is 40%. New rain amounts less than 10 minutes. Also, extra high amounts possible thunderstorms. Sunday, slight showers and thunderstorms between noon and 5 p.m. Punch mark for 90 was partly set at 90 degrees of common given southwest wind 5 and 9 miles in the afternoon and just picture 27 for Sunday night. Slight showers and thunderstorms between 10 p.m. and midnight. Punch gust about 69 degrees south about 5. 7 miles and coming in the evening, just 20% for Monday. Check showers and thunderstorms may after 1 p.m. Mostly set coming at 89 low 69 degrees and just picture 30% of this calm wind for Tuesday. Check showers between 1 p.m. and 5 p.m. Mostly set coming at 80 degrees of light southwest wind becoming westbound. 5 to 9 miles in the morning, just at 30% for Tuesday night. Podcast about 65 degrees and northwest about 6 miles an hour for Wednesday. Sunset about 79, low 58 degrees and northwest about 7 miles an hour for Thursday. Most sunset about 82 degrees and west about 3 to 8 miles an hour for Thursday night. Check shot mostly clouds about 64 degrees and southwest about 6 miles an hour after midnight. Check 30% for Friday. Check shots mostly clouds about 80 degrees and west about 5 to 8 miles an hour. Guess 20 miles an hour, just 40%. Right now, Norton at 62 degrees and this guys, and that's going to be for the video channel about the news on this August 22nd, 2020 on a Saturday morning. Viewers will be having a good morning with a good day to stay safe, be positive, be healthy, and be well. We'll see you. Hope you have a wonderful day.